Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday as you are listening to the show today. It is, of course, Tourism Tuesday, and we have, of course, pre-recorded our conversation on the Zoom screen. Justin Kearns is back. I get to see his smiling face on the Zoom today. I am so glad that you pulled through and that you're doing well and that you only missed one show, and Mayor John David Smith did a phenomenal job filling in for you last month, by the way. You might have a problem with co-host issues because I may have to reach out to him more often.
Yeah, I went to, if you're listening, you don't know, I came down with COVID. Actually, everybody in my house did. And we were some of the unfortunate ones to catch it full brunt. And fortunately, we stayed out of the hospital, but we were pretty sick. So everything just went on the wayside. Everything went on the wayside. Couldn't function at all. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I supposed to do the radio show? And thankfully, Renee had reached out to you and said, I can't do it. So you know what, Renee should have done it. Anyways.
I thought about that, but I know after so many conversations with her, that was a battle I would not have won. So I didn't even try.
So I actually logged in and listened to it. I turned on the radio and listened to the show, and I was like, oh, thank goodness the mayor's on here. So I listened, and he did a great job. And so one of the very few emails that I sent out that week was one thanking him for jumping in at the last minute and that he did a great job. So.
Oh, yeah, he's great. I told him that I would have him back on the show again as the actual mayor, since that's kind of a bigger deal. So we agreed that we would try and make that work in the next couple of
months. He did a great job. And I think he did a really good job as speaking as the restaurant owner and promoter of other restaurants there. So,
I only bring up that you had COVID because before we started recording for the radio show, you were talking about the guest that you brought today and how when you were released from protocol, the first thing you did was go to her shop and get some donuts. So tell me who you've got today, and let's have a conversation with her.
We went with the kids and everything. That was our first thing. That was our treat for surviving COVID, as we went and got ourselves some donuts. So we went straight on in. That was so fun to go and do that. But anyway, so Courtney, hi, welcome. You're on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I missed your grand opening, which was on my birthday, of course. So double whammy. I had COVID on my birthday on Valentine's Day. So triple whammy on that. And I missed your grand opening. So I apologize for not being there for that. But how did it go? You guys are busy. Like every time I go by, you guys were busy. We went by 2 weeks after you opened and you were super busy. So how are you doing?
We're doing okay. Our grand opening was phenomenal, and thanks to the community for coming out and supporting us and Small Business Matters. And we had a line out the door all day long. It exceeded any expectation I had. So thank you to everyone that came out. Yeah, we're just plugging along. Every day is slinging them donuts. So it's great.
And so I don't think we even said it yet. What's your business and where are you? I forgot to even do that. People are like, which donuts?
I'm Courtney Turner, and I own Glazed and Confused Doughnut on Piccadilly Street in Winchester, Virginia.
Great. And you opened about a month ago now.
We opened on Valentine's Day. The Day of Love and Donuts is what we've coined it now.
Nice. And we I was following you guys on Facebook for a while before you opened, and you guys have done a great job on social media, and talking about your team and how wonderful your team members are, and kind of your approach to making donuts, and yeah, I just love all of it on social media. How did you end up here in Winchester? How'd you end up back here?
So I was born and raised in Winchester, Virginia. I went to school, I went to college, and kind of puddled around for a little bit, and then decided to get into radiology. So I went to the Winchester program for radiology, and then I kind of moved away for a little bit and traveled, and I worked for Fort Meade. I worked for the Army out there. I was a clinical instructor for the Army's radiation radiology program for the soldiers. And then I kind of missed home, and, I met a guy, and we moved home and got married and had a baby and replanted our roots, if you will say. My husband's from Ohio, so he's a transplant, but my roots were here. But yeah, we love Winchester. We love Virginia.
That's awesome. We've got so many small business owners here that have fascinating stories, and you're just like, how did you end up slinging donuts? Like it's, like Matt Schaefer and his Julie down at Schaefer's, fascinating story. The whole story behind Bonnie Blue, like so many of our Victoria kid over at Hideaway, like so many fascinating stories of these business owners, of these previous lives of doing these fascinating things. And it's like, wow, now you run a donut shop. That's amazing. Like, that's so cool to be able to go in and just have a whole other conversation when you go in and talk about that background. And that's crazy that you ended up running a donut shop. So
And Courtney, why donuts? What was it about donuts versus muffins or a full-on bakery or a restaurant? Why did you choose donuts?
Well, I've always been a fat kid, and I've always just loved sweets, man. Like, I had a small cupcake business it was like a cottage business from my home. I kind of started that back before COVID hit, and then the pandemic occurred, and that it was just kind of like not the right time. And, I saw Mo had closed down, and I just saw an opportunity. And, I can make a cupcake, I can make a cake, I can make a donut, it's all the same thing, but we just pack on the toppings, and, it's just like a little tiny cake right there at your fingertips. So I just put my mind to it, and I did it. And no special reason for donuts, but I love them, and everybody else seems to love them. So I think we're on the right track,
And it's nice to be able to just have one thing that you focus on. So you're not a full service restaurant where you have all these different, everything that's going on. You that's your thing, is donuts. So you can focus in on doing some creative, fun things.
Is that where you're located, is in his old donut shop?
I am.
Well, that makes it easy, because I know he didn't close because business was bad. He closed because he was exhausted, and I think it was taking over his entire life and his family's life. So it was great that you could kind of just slide right in there and, keep making the donuts.
Yeah. I mean, we're a little bit different. Mo did a lot of yeast raised donuts, which, that man got up in the middle of the night to start his dough and proofing it. And I'm taking the slightly lazier approach because, I have a 4-year-old son. So my husband now gets up at 3 a.m. to go into our shop and fry our donuts. And then my son and I, his name's River. There's a donut named after him, the River.
Oh, nice. The name of the radio.
Yeah, it's his fave. Yeah, it's a vanilla cake donut with chocolate frosting and sprinkles. So that was his favorite. I felt like it was only appropriate to name it after him. So we get up, I go in at 5, and River and I go make the donuts and top them. And
you guys have coffee too. Is it local coffee? What's your coffee that you guys have?
We do. So we wanted to focus on, like you said earlier, coffee and donuts, and we wanted to be really good at those two things. So our coffee is from Sibling Roasters Coffee. She's a nurse she worked for Valley Health for a long time. Now she's with Winchester Radiologist. Her name's Libby, and she owns Sibling Coffee Roasters in Charlestown. We offer her heirloom blend every day. She roasts the beans herself on site, and so it's super fresh, super delicious.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. When we come back, can we walk through some of the flavors? You mentioned the River. Can we talk a little bit about what you have kind of on tap and whether or not you do specialty things, catering, all of that kind of stuff. Can we talk about that in the next segment?
For sure. I'd love to.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation for Tourism Tuesday. We, of course, have pre-recorded it on the Zoom screen. We are chatting with Justin Kearns from the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Joining him is Courtney Turner. She is the owner of Glazed and Confused Doughnut Shop, located on Piccadilly Street in Old Town Winchester. We're going to come back and talk more donuts in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday. As you are listening to the show today, it is Tourism Tuesday, and it is Winchester Frederick County's turn at the mic. So Justin Kearns is on the Zoom screen, pre-recording our conversation with me. Along with him is Courtney Turner. She is the owner of Glazed and Confused Doughnut Shop. We were talking during the break about some of the regular donuts that you always have, and Justin asked if you could do special donuts. If he comes in and says, hey, my kid is having a birthday party, but he really likes XYZ donuts. And you laughed and said that you were the Willy Wonka of donuts. And I snickered and said, I'm totally using that when I reintroduce you again. So you can create almost any kind of donut for somebody then, I guess.
Yeah, anything that they can use their imagination to think of. I mean, I have a list of ingredients for toppings, for coatings, for glazes. So anything from that long list that you want, I can throw on top of a donut.
And so that's like custom orders. So I could, like a birthday party. So what would we do if we can get into your regular flavors and all that? But like since we're down this path, if I were to want, 24 donuts of whatever flavor for a birthday party, how would I go about contacting you about that? How much lead time do you need? That sort of thing.
We prefer about 12 hours notice for anything larger than a 24 order, just so that my husband can, be prepared to fry extra in the morning. So 12 hours is good. 24 is better. But yeah, you just, you can go to our website, www.glazedandconfuseddonuts.com. And we have a contact us section on the website, and you can just put your name in there, your email address, what you would like, and what time you'd like to pick it up. And that comes directly to my email, and we get those pre-orders ready in the morning to send out, or, a week ahead or on a Saturday, whenever you want to pick it up, we'll have it ready for you.
That's so much easier than baking a cake.
You can also call.
Right. Or, God forbid, just walk in the door. Yeah.
Or that. Come on down and see me. Yeah.
Now, Courtney, are you open all day? I mean, most donut shops are only open, like Moe's was only open in the morning, I think until lunchtime or until the donuts were gone. What are your hours at the shop?
We are open Tuesday through Sunday. Tuesday through Friday, we open at 7 a.m. and we close at 3. And then Saturday and Sunday, we open at 8 a.m. and close at 3. We hate Mondays, so we are closed on Mondays.
I hate Mondays too, but that's when I need a donut more than any other day of the week. So do you have like regular standard flavors that people can always expect to find when they come in the door?
Yes, ma'am. We have something called our bangers, which are house specialty donuts that I created because they're banging. They're so good. They're our favorites, my husband's, my son's, and some of those include the Happy Camper, which is kind of like a s'mores. It's got chocolate icing with graham crackers and marshmallows, and We've got the original Gangsta, which is one of my faves. It's peanut butter and chocolate and peanut butter on top of that. We have one called the Joy of Almonds, which if you reverse the words, it'll tell you what it's like. We have an Elvis, which is peanut butter and bacon and honey bourbon drizzle. We have a Drunk Pig, which we sell so many of these, and people come in and they're, shocked that we put bacon on a donut, but once they try it, they just absolutely love it. But it's maple glaze with bacon and then a honey bourbon drizzle on top of that. So yeah, we have about 10 or 11 bangers in our case every day. You can come in and get one of those, or you can come in and make your own box custom. It's whatever you prefer.
Now, what if somebody is listening and no judgment here, but they just want a regular glazed donut? Do you have a plain old glazed donut too? Do you have something that's a little more standard?
I do. Yep. Every day we have vanilla glaze and chocolate glaze in our case.
Oh, you have me a chocolate glaze, because sometimes I just want something simple that I can eat 5 or 6 of and not feel guilty.
Yeah, and if you come in right when we open, at 7 or 8, they'll be hot, so they taste like a nice warm brownie.
So see, that 7 or 8 a.m. is a killer, but there are a few things that I would get out of bed and get in the car for. But I'm thinking a warm chocolate donut would probably be at the top of that list.
You're like branch out to Middletown.
Yeah.
I don't have to drive all the way up.
Yeah, get a truck. Come to my house. That's what you need, is a donut truck, and you just drive it up and down my street every morning.
Oh, that is funny. That is funny.
We're looking into food trucks, so more to come on that.
That would be great over the summer. That would be fantastic over the summer. Go all over the place.
Well, we've gotten a lot of requests for weddings. So, we've got a lot of weddings booked this summer, and hopefully I think a donut truck at the wedding would be, fun. So, but more to come on that.
All right. Yeah, you've gone down a path that you you don't realize how popular you're going to be, and you're like, uh-oh, what have I done? What have I gotten into?
So, Courtney, would you have had any idea? I mean, you talked about having been born and raised here, and then you go off and you live your life and you're in this whole different career field. 10 years ago, if somebody had said to you, you know what, you say you had gone into one of those places that read your tarot cards or can predict your future, and they said, you're going to end up back home opening up a donut shop, what would you have said to them?
I would have laughed at them. I mean, honestly, I've always, my family has owned businesses my whole life. My mother owned a convenience store growing up, so I've been a shop kid, for a very long time. And my grandfather owned bars, and so we're just kind of an eclectic group. And I've always wanted to be a small business owner and kind of work for myself. I just never really knew what my life would, the path that I would go down. But I mean, I'm so happy that this has happened, and I love baking, and I love that people love us.
This is awesome from a tourism perspective too, because this is a really cool boutique business that people want, they come here for one reason or another. They've got their destination in mind, but you have to have businesses like this to kind of keep them here and have them enjoy their time even more while they're visiting.
Absolutely. And I think there's definitely a lot of demand in the Old Town area for grab and go type things. I think that's why the empanada place is doing so well. And then, donuts, same thing, they do really well. And our coffee shops do really well in Old Town too, because, we have a great selection of sit down restaurants, but it's also really nice to have that small locally owned place where you can just dip in, grab a bite to eat, grab something really quick, like a donut, and get on your way. But yeah, there's just so much, there's so many small businesses and so much just variety in the ownership. It's absolutely fascinating. It's so wonderful. I love all the owners. I go down for one thing and I end up in one place. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go into 15 different businesses today and, deliver something or other. I end up in like 2 because I sit around and talk all day long.
Well, and we women are taking over downtown Old Town Winchester, because we've got Courtney now as part of the women-owned business family. I mean, you've got Lanita at the Espresso Bar. You've got Christine at Winchester Book Gallery. You've got Emily at Polka Dot Pot. I mean, the list goes on and on of the women-owned businesses up and down the walking mall.
Oh yeah, you name it. It's
Hey,
all
girls run the world.
Yes.
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, Cheryl up at Sweet Nola's, you name it. You name it. Everybody, yeah, it's crazy. So that's awesome. Oh, the one thing I was going to ask, I saw on your Facebook page, are you still looking for some help with your donut slingers there in the morning?
Yeah, we're trying to hire a couple night bakers so that my poor husband doesn't have to get up so early in the morning anymore. But, I worked night shift at the hospital for a very long time, and I know that it takes a special person to want to get up and do anything at 2:00 in the morning. So we do have a couple positions open for nighttime bakers. So if anybody's interested in getting up at 2 a.m. and frying some donuts for us, please give us a call or come to the Facebook page or my Instagram page and shoot me a message, because we need you. We're tired of getting up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
Well, my husband is not one of those people, but I will tell you that I would probably make him take a job at leaving the house at 2 a.m. to go make donuts if he brought them home with him in the morning. So, you might be not necessarily talking directly to somebody who wants the job, but somebody in their family that wants them to have that job.
Right. That's awesome.
Hey, I'll throw in a free donut if you get up and fry them for me in the morning. You can eat one and take one home.
So, Courtney, before we wrap up, can you tell us one more time your address and your hours?
28 East Piccadilly Street in Winchester, Virginia, and my hours are Tuesday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we have a case of the Mondays on Monday, so we're closed.
And then your website is glazedandconfuseddoughnuts.com. What about social media? Do you have, Justin mentioned a Facebook page. Do you have Instagram? Do you have all of the social media outlets?
I do. I have a Facebook page. It's Glazed and Confused Doughnuts. And my Instagram is Glazed and Confused Doughnuts VA.
Fantastic. Good choice, Justin. Except, the only thing that could have made this better is if you had donuts delivered to me prior to us recording this. But, I'll cut you some slack.
And that's my fault for doing it late. If I would have gotten her last week, I would have been, you'd probably have some donuts in your hand right now, some orange donuts in your hand. But
now that I know you have had COVID, which makes you kind of in that safe category to a certain degree, maybe you and I will meet up and go have a donut at her shop in the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, man, I'm an iron wall until like May or so. Yeah, I'm good.
So I know things are slightly sort of opening back up. So Apple Blossom, you wanted to mention Apple Blossom before we finished up today?
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, if you're in the local audience, you're probably kind of aware anyways, but they're on. Apple Blossom, the festival is on. I think the parade is off, but there are lots of things that they are doing. Brad Veach, he's the new executive director, has had his hands full, and he is very aggressively and actively going out and finding ways to bring that experience to the community and do it in a safe way. So he's going crazy. I wouldn't want his job right now, but he's doing a really good job, and they're still offering a lot of things. So go to thebloom.com. And you'll have a really good idea of what's going on. But there's still a lot. I think the wine festival's still going on. And yeah, there's still a lot of stuff going on.
Thank you both for taking some time to meet up with me on the Zoom screen today. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I'll be in again soon. Very soon.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you.
I will be back tomorrow. It is the Valley Business today, and it is Top of Virginia Regional Chamber's turn at the mic. So meet me back here just a few minutes after noon for that conversation.